Hi, this is the Daily Dharma. My name is Dina. Thank you so much for joining. Today I do have a few cards laid out from the pre-shuffle. We've got a couple of code cards here. Well, 4 of them on the table and 2 under the deck I've been looking at, as well as from one of our animal totem decks. We've got a few totems coming in to precede the message. The first one underneath the deck was personal choice. And this one has come up a few times. I really enjoy this. It's talking about how we can take a moment of peace and serenity and to let the different spirit animals speak to us and through us without having even to see them. By them coming to us through our inner vision, it's just as powerful as seeing them out in the world. So it says, personal choice. Close your eyes. What animal do you imagine? What strengths are they known for? What wisdom do they share? Embrace these qualities. So being able to harness their capacities and to witness that the reason this animal totem comes to us in the real world or in the reality of our mind and mind's eye or the dream space as well. And even if this is a previous dream or vision that comes to mind now, this animal is one of the guides that is able to mirror back to you the potentials that you're ready to embrace as evidence of your own courage or peace or joy or perseverance. Whatever animal speaks to you, its qualities are, in fact, part of you. So the other 2 that came out, interestingly enough, I don't know if many of you will have seen the community page, but today I shared 2 songs. The first one was Yaima, I believe that's how you say it, the band singer, and the song was called Old Stories. But then the other one was by Nako and Medicine for the People, Manifesto. And that one, the one lyric that really sticks out to me is he's talking about while he was observing seasonal changes, thinking about climate changes, then the sky opened and there came horses by the thousands, and they were singing some old melody from some other time, and they sang, "Don't waste your hate, rather gather and create. Be of service, be a sensible person. Use your words and don't be nervous. You can do this. You've got purpose. Find your medicine and use it." Gorgeous, right? So Ladybug says, you are a bright energy. Let worry go and be happy here and now. Feel good about being a loving and colorful you. You bless this world with color and good luck. And that good luck is also yours. So sometimes there are those of us that are like, oh, well, I'm identified with the powerful wolf, the powerful bear. But how often are little bitty totems coming and speaking to us? Like I just had what I thought was a fly in the room. And it's hard to appreciate the fly when it's in a room with you and you're trying to meditate. Just, one of those things. But as I got up thinking, all right, I love animals, but maybe I gotta take this guy out. And I got up and it was a bee. And so then I have a soft spot for the bee and all of its assets and magic. And so I cracked the window and was able to let it out. But would it have occurred to me to open the window and let the fly out? It didn't in the moment. And it was a reminder that there was a time where I tried that. Of course, the one that I can't really go for are mosquitoes. I'm so sorry to the mosquito, but you just cannot continue on my property. So anyways, 2 things here. I'm getting ahead of myself as usual. So the horses by the thousands. So even when we see the horse, we can also witness its magic and its majesty, its freedom and independence, and its sheer power and finesse and grace. Year of the horse might be somebody you know or yourself, but unicorn reads infinite possibilities. You are the sovereign of the seen and the unseen worlds. The magic of love surrounds you. Beauty transforms you. Listen to the spirits of light. Abandon the darkness. Go beyond the ordinary and become the legendary. And I absolutely love that. And we see the butterfly on the card as well, reminding us about how small changes will always influence our life prominently, and how also excuse me a moment here, certain individuals every time will call me while I'm on camera. But also how those small thoughts, words, and deeds, how they influence our energy and our contributions and influences upon the earth, and how we walk with our magic, and how that creates different order from different chaos. And this is coming in today. There was also something in the Yaima song about there is always a new leader, there is always a new order. And I was seeing that right order card that we've been seeing so often. And we kept seeing also music and write, as in writing things out, or like lyrics, the written word, taking in guidance from other people's written word. So underneath the personal choice also, we have B, community, which I didn't even think about until in the moment on camera. I was telling the story about the bee, and I'm like, oh yeah, bees under the deck. And it says, you are a powerful creator. Your work blesses everything you touch. Be open to receiving sweetness. You are the queen of abundance, or king, whatever your flavor might be. So those are our totems. I absolutely love that. On the table today, we started out with number 1, root chakra. So the basis is the way that we connect with our own body, our own experience, our own foundation and basis, and how we honor that stability and stasis through so many practices, whether it's hydration, thank you, don't mind if I do, nutrition, stretching, motion and momentum, rest and recuperation, both service as well as giving and receiving of love, affection, kindness, and wisdom. We all have wisdom. And another lyric from that Yaima song, did I write it down? All the lives we've lived before this are essential form of gnosis. It's a simple form of freedom. It's smooth as inhalation. So whether we're the small child or the old individual, the wisdom that we carry can sometimes be influenced, colored, and affected by the ability of ourselves to connect to that depth and that to physicality, to the material, to be that bridge of light and matter. And it's framed and changed and alchemized by our personal choice, by our ability to perceive. Yes, that's on the deck or on the board here. By our ability to perceive and to conceive and to create, to affect with our elemental self, the air, the spirit, the fire and passion, the earthly solidity and presence, as well as the water and the flow of conscious connection and emotional fluctuation, and then the ether and so on. So the second card, 28, Gaia. This absolutely reminds me today of a reminder of our service. And by the way, these on the table here, we've got root chakra, and below that, the personal choice. So it's like our personal choices within the community, perhaps, because B is below that. And our finding our place, finding our purpose, not playing small, not fearing getting out there and doing, and perhaps failing, perhaps being terrible at something because we're a brand new beginner and because we're not stuck in a comfort zone, but we're not going to waste our time being resentful of those that do go out and do something, even if it's something we don't agree with. Those things are to also motivate us to get out and to set down the basis of our legend, to create our own narrative and to write our own story where we are the hero. And then we have Gaia here with that service, and under that is the ladybug. So we are very lucky, and we bring luck to others because of the synchronicity and the way that we follow our whims and whimsy and our magic. So as much as we can, to the extent that we can, if we can release those lower um, forms and matters, and to resolve and transmute those as much as we can in the right order. When it's time, it's time. If it's not time and there's something that it's teaching us, then it belongs there for the moment. I said that at 11:11. It's no mistake that things come to us, but we are a blessing no matter where we're at on this spectrum of healing. We may think that we've got so much left to do, but it's all about bringing it forward and blessing the world with all of the spectrum of color, and that is where we bring luck to life. And so the next card, the Unicorn Infinite Possibilities. I don't usually take these as reversed, but for whatever reason, this wanted to come out in reverse. Dynamic. So dynamic comes across quite often in a few different ways, like the dynamics between ourselves and others, the way that we interact and commingle, and the energies that we feel are unfairly coming towards us, the things that others want or ask for or demand from us in our interactions, as well as the exchange of what we're giving and receiving there. Also family dynamics, workplace dynamics, the changing environment around us, and then the way that all of those things and even the accumulated lives and experiences come into this now moment and can find us from mood to mood, day to day, year to year, in different places and spaces. And the chaos and the storms of life are also a dynamic that has arisen. In all of this, it's coming in like chaos, like the melting pot of colors, like throwing a bunch of crayons in this melting pot and seeing them all kind of dissolving and mingling, like one of those acrylic paintings that people kind of pour them and then watch them create different type momentum, movement, flow of color and swirls. And it can be very meditative to see these creations. I absolutely love them. But having this in the reverse today, all of those matters to me seem that they have left us feeling somewhat bored or apathetic, wanting more, or questioning the dynamics, wanting to move away from old stories we've been told or that we've told ourselves, to correct and continue to build upon a healthy foundation of personal accountability, service to self and the world, and that in clarifying the connection between self and higher self, the self and the soul star, and the self and the root chakra, and the self root chakra connection to the earth chakra below. Whew. Now, under the deck here, as I pick this up, surrounded by prosperity, witnessing the here and now, we have infinite possibilities. We have infinite resources to move and create momentum in the dynamics of life. Where there's boredom or apathy, we can re-inspire ourselves with pursuit, with little things every day, where if we are then like, okay, well, now it's time to do this thing that I always do at this time. Is it because of you being in the state of boredom or habit? There are many things that can be habituated that aren't even unhealthy, but that they create that old movie Groundhog's Day with like Bill Murray or something. It was like he kept waking up every single day and reliving that same day over and over. And I forget why this was happening, but how often do our lives resemble things like that? You know, the small things change, but overall, we're still doing these few things over and over. And it's like the craving of adventure. And the adventure can sometimes even happen in the mind space, in the meditation space, in the prayerful space of envisioning what we wish for our future in the healthy ways that we can move forward non-judgmentally. And if there creeps in some lower emotions, some doubt, pull back from the specifics and just say, I trust that things are going to change. So that's why doubt creeps in, because I can't see it all. I can't see myself necessarily exactly as I will be in 10 years. So I allow spirit to come in and fill these spaces right now that I can't perceive of with the highest good. So all of this and better, please help me correct the rough edges of my manifesto that will be for the highest good. And we may want to do something now like that seems random or ultra practical, that doesn't seem to make sense, or to go somewhere and it's like we've got all this work to do. But when we're compelled to do something, it's the personal choice here to listen to the invitation, to the subtle realms, just the little giggles and the little things that capture our attention, to give of our attention and to receive of the magical inspiration from that place. So we can give and receive so much, so often on the daily, without having any actual material exchange with other individuals. So when we're feeling depleted, Mother Earth wants to say that she's surrounding us with abundance. Let's get one more oracle from this deck after giving it a good shuffle. I'll take that one. Setting up parameters, potentially with yourself, but also with the demands of others. That's a nice card. I haven't seen this as yet. So 43, setting up parameters, assess your relationships and determine how they're aligned with your goals or not. Setting boundaries requires an honest evaluation of your present relationships. And this can be your relationship with self, your commitment to self, to your meditation, prayer, health, nutrition, whatever goals and habits and shifts that you're looking to actualize and bring in to help yourself feel more at peace, like you're being constructive and creating something of meaning from the flux and flow of life. So setting up parameters with yourself and healthy limits with yourself is like, you know, you don't want to stay up till 3 a.m. if you have to get up at 6 a.m. and go do an important talk in front of a bunch of individuals that you want to impress. It just logically sets us up for being a little less on point. So healthy sleep, healthy limits with self. We don't want to eat a whole chocolate cake if we're dieting. We don't want to, if we're working on anger issues or jealousy issues, then we can work positively and proactively with affirmations and setting up different types of personal goals of how do we feel better? What makes us feel good, bad, and different? And working with those things as such. 27, push to the surface. Yes, abandoning the darkness. Listen to the spirits of light. It's not about like, did they say something or da-da-da, or did I do something wrong, or am I not enough, or whatever it might be for you, this wounding fear, doubt that keeps us tethered to old storylines or whatever it might be in your case, or committed to individuals that are disloyal or whatever. Some type of release and moving up, getting air, fresh air, move up and out of your apartment or your environment or your cubicle on your breaks, getting up and taking a quick walk outside, getting some fresh air is literally getting out of that settled energy and creating movement and momentum. You may have become complacent. You might be stalling or in need of a new surge of energy. Become aware of the dynamics of your life. Perfect. And this is already in motion. So dynamic showed itself upside down as some type of just dissatisfaction, perhaps even on the extreme with a disillusionment, but it's telling us that the change and shifting is within our capacity. So above the setting up parameters card, we have perception. So we have the ability to set a healthy limit with self, other, environment in such a way that will help our perspective to expand and to be able to take in the abundance that being surrounded with the magic of love. It's like Mother Earth is surrounding us. And if we can get back out into nature, out into the fresh air, literally or figuratively, it helps to help us to put ourselves back into that mode of service and spirit, the return of spirit. And it shifts those dynamics from lower to higher. And music is one of those extremely beneficial things that can really inspire us. Simplicity is under the deck. Okay, Celestial wants to pop out for root chakra. So Celestial is the opposite end, so to speak. So as if there's an above and a below, something about hermetic order here coming together. The emerald tablets, perhaps. I love sharing emerald tablets. It's already on my community page. You can find a link to somebody's YouTube. I don't know who it was, but it was a good one. And you can also go through the entirety of the emerald tablets. It's amazing. But this is talking about the above and the below, the within and the without. As the universe, so the soul, and being able to draw inspiration in and fully down all the way through the celestial realms. And under the deck, I'm seeing assistance. So this is what we're being assisted with. And I'm seeing it on the bottom of the deck. We do have discernment. These two have come out before. So being able to discern how to help ourselves out of a situation, discerning how to shift others out, and becoming lucky with assisting others and self through our personal choices. But to me, to complete my thought, it looks as though we're drawing down all of this inspiration. We're drawing in all of this magic from Mother Earth, and we're drawing it deeply down below the surface level of what we can observe here, and really grounding and rooting into this body and how magical and sensational those sensibilities and sensitivities can create this wonderful world for us to experience, to taste, touch, smell, through our personal choices of where we give our attention. And I know that comes up often. So Gaia, what does Gaia want to tell us about the luck? We're being possibly guided to follow something, as was said earlier. Okay, oh yeah, nice. Fearless wants to come out, and so does Starseed. Okay, so Celestial. And then we have, and look at these two cards with their, beautiful. Fearlessly embodying your Starseed roots and bringing your beauty and pure potentiality and out of the box thinking, whatever it might be, your vision, your quest, you are bringing this fully into your body and lighting yourself up. And I always see also how this below here, check this out here. So it's like, here we are taking flight in some type of way, fearlessly embracing and embodying this download and bringing it into our person and spreading it out through the world with our vision, with our ability to impact and influence the world with our magic. Under the deck, Fairy magic came out in the pre-shuffle as well. It's been around. And to me, it's like you are becoming the fairy in some type of way. And when I posted, whether it was on the community page or on, I also did some Facebook posting because I do have a developed community over there. You can check in and try to connect with me there. I'm not always on there, so you might have trouble connecting with me. But anyways, I see this as something that you're pulling in and building, but it's something like, yeah, like this embodiment of light, and then those dark wings. It's like you're embracing your shadow. Um, the Yaima song, free from all old stories I've been told, I walk through the valley of my own shadow. Yeah, it's like we cast a huge shadow. The higher we climb, the bigger that we cast a shadow. So it's like we're more collectively embraced than that shadow, and the collective shadow, the collective consciousness also attempts and succeeds at working through. I mean, how often do those of us connected with the moon and the celestial cosmic forces that are sensitives, we don't know why we're acting in a certain way. We feel something is moving through us and it doesn't necessarily belong to us. We are this lightning rod transmutational vessel, and it's not always comfortable, but it's always so magical. And it's moving some things through my body right now just to witness and appreciate that in the moment. So and I started to shuffle somehow and have the voice on the bottom. So yeah, singing along, humming along, creating your magic, using your voice. You can do this. You've got purpose. Yeah, use your voice and don't be nervous. You can do this. You've got purpose. So how are we flipping those storms of life into infinite possibilities? How are we spinning these stories on their heads? We are the transmuter. Yes. Feline. That keeps coming out. Very interesting. Sometimes I don't know what to make of that card, but to me in the moment right now, it almost looks like that celestial download. Maybe more of us, I haven't studied as much about the Illyrian influences. Some believe it more to be a bird-like essence, but it keeps coming through this card as a feline essence, and many also find it to be very feline. And it seems like this energy is kind of like, it looks as though this long body with a very muscular center, but a long, very tall, elongated, standing on its hind legs perhaps, and like its shoulders are almost rounded over, like so, as though it's got this huge wingspan. And like, it's not a dangerous image. It's like bringing something up and over and covering, shrouding something, and it looks like a protective essence. And it might be being able to get us in the appropriate receiving space here, and then kind of bringing this new download over the top of the old stories. And it just looks like this enormous head here, like a hot air balloon. And it also looks like a manta ray. You know how when you look the top down at a manta ray, how it's got those dimples down its spinal area? Interesting. But there's some type of connection or download that we're meant to make present or be present for. And so if we're witnessing something that wants to redirect us, following that impulse, even if you've got a deadline, taking 5 minutes for this download assists in us being present further. Simplicity on the bottom of the deck. So just showing up for 5 minutes can be all that's necessary for this vibrational shift and download, because vibrational just popped out. So this one coming over perception. So if we're in that lower space, we can witness it. We can indulge it if we wish, but we don't need to. We can also bring ourselves up with drumming, with music, with fresh air, with magic, with listening to the sounds of nature, vibrational rife frequencies. I'll give my friend's channel a plug. Her channel is called Rife Force, RIFEFORCE, I believe, Rife Force. And she has put a ton of corrective healing vibrations on her channel. And that's a freebie for you guys. At the very center of this card, it's showing me in the moment the difference of when the vibration of that change and that download hits us in the possibly the solar plexus or sacral chakra, I'm thinking, but it can also activate the higher heart here, because I'm seeing this as both the center of this celestial card, and it's becoming an emanation. It's by releasing the fear and anxiety, and then being present and bringing in this light, releasing the darkness and embodying this light fearlessly. All of a sudden it's kind of like, and it comes just pouring forward. Under the deck, mediumship. So there's those wings again. And I do see a skull in that, so you may be speaking with forces beyond this. And under the deck here we have discernment and Merkaba, which discernment, as we said, looks exactly like that other card, which I've shuffled back into the deck. It was assistance. So discerning what's going to help us the most get to our goals or get to where we want to be in our service, and expanding from there. Merkaba is all about expansion. So take good care of yourself. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and help us get the messages out to those who need them. And check back for other messages. Let's get one of these if we can get it before we get cut off. Sun Tzu said, "The general who advances without coveting fame and retreats without fearing disgrace, whose only thought is to protect his country and do good service for his sovereign, is the jewel of the kingdom. Prevention is better than the cure." We are all generals in one army or another. In our army of one, it says, we are responsible for how we live and relate to others. As thwarting an enemy's plan is better than laying siege to their city, so looking after your health is better than waiting until you get sick, and managing your budget is better than falling into debt. Be responsible for yourself and others. That accountability, showing up and being present, is unlocking the next step for us. So take care and let me know about how your experience is coming through. Talk to you soon.